Hello, gorgeous people. How are you? Today I'm talking about escape rooms. And I'm also talking about a wee conversation I had with Jesus, the Jesus energy. And I'm asking all about that energy and what it's about, where it came from, and was Jesus really real, the story of Jesus. So I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So I was thinking about this world, right? So last week I was talking about the fact that maybe this is just a template. This is like this is what I was told by the Jesus energy. Like, this is a template, and we're just in it, and we're just living through it. Okay. So I was thinking, I know what this is. This is an escape room. I don't know if you've ever done an escape room. I have 3 times. Now, I'm not very good at them. Okay, there's a certain mentality you've got to have to be really good at an escape room. I don't have it. So what happens in an escape room when I go in, I just get this constant running dialogue inside of my head which goes, I don't know what I've got to do. I don't know what that means. I don't know how to get out of here. I have no idea. I'm going to be here and they're going to have to let me out. I'm going to be so embarrassed because I don't understand anything. That's kind of the dialogue, and that's not a helpful dialogue. I'm aware of it. Hence the fact that I don't do escape rooms very often. I get really stressed. Really stressed. You see, the idea of an escape room is that you're in there and you're looking for clues. You're looking for clues to find out how to get out. Okay? And this is where we are. This is the biggest escape room. No wonder I've been stressed all my life. No wonder I had anxiety when I was younger, because I don't like escape rooms. But now I understand what it is, I can be more relaxed. Like, the idea is that we get put in here. We know nothing. Just like an escape room, you know nothing. Okay? You're coming in with a fresh mind, and then, or your memory's completely wiped out. And then you've got to start looking for clues anywhere you can. And at the beginning, you have no idea. Sometimes you find a clue that's more advanced, and you don't understand it. It makes no sense. I don't know what that means. To understand that clue, you've got to find an earlier clue. So that's kind of where we are, I think. This is the biggest fucking massive escape room we've ever been in. But it's like that. Yeah, it's pretending. Okay. So while I was, what I thought was, every now and again, I'm going to get in touch with this Jesus energy and just ask it some questions, okay? Because what I find is that it tells me things that are very different to what the emissaries say. The emissaries have got a very, very clear remit. And this one also, the Jesus energy, has a very clear remit. Very clear, which I asked about today. So let me tell you about how the conversation went. As always, I start off with, how are we? Where are we? And the answer came exactly in the right place. It's all going beautifully at the moment. So I said, so what are you? What are you? And the answer came, the Christ frequency. Okay, Christ energy, Christed light, call it what you will, I suppose. And I said, so where do you reside? And it said, in the heavens, but very much linked and focused on this earth plane. Okay. So I said, so what's your role? What job do you have? It sounds a bit like basic, isn't it? What's your job? That's the question that you ask people in parties. What do you do? So what do you do? Okay, so there you are. I brought the Jesus energy down to a party. What do you do? Yeah. So the answer was that it's the Christ energy that is designed to help people, us, to remember who and what we are. And this energy is administrating the return to God, where we all are at the moment, I think. And this is something else that I hear confirmed such a lot. This return to God, to spirit, return, not to religion, to God. Religion's got nothing to do with this at all. I mean, it has got something to do with it, and I don't doubt that lots of people are turning to religion as well. But the motivation is because they feel that they need to return to God. Okay, that's the journey. That's the cycle, isn't it? duality, separation, oneness. So I said, so why do we come here then? What's the purpose? What's the point of us coming here and having all of this trouble and all of this stress and all of this? You know, I mean, it's not a choice made by the meek and mild. You know, you've got to have something about you to come here. And the answer came that as beings, as souls, as divinity, we are always wanting to be more. We're always wanting to be more and to be better, okay? To improve ourselves. And this is the path of God. This is the path of divinity, is this constant self-improvement, this constant becoming better, yeah? So that's what it said, that's why we come here, because this is the opportunity that we have. This allows us to better ourselves. And they said that's why here the ego, when it's untamed, when it's unascended, why it does what it does, because it's kind of an exaggerated part of always wanting to improve and to be better. The problem is, when it's not ascended, it always wants to be better than everybody else. That's the problem. It isn't, it just wants, you know, divinity is, I want to be more. Yeah, I want to be more, I want to appreciate myself more, I want to understand myself more. The ego is, I want to be more than everybody else. Yeah, which is slightly different. So I thought, I'm going to have to ask this question because, you know, I've got to ask it. So I said, so you know the story of Jesus in the Bible and everything. Did you really exist, okay, on this earth? And the answer came like this, because you know when you talk with these beings and you try to pin them down, it's very difficult to. It's very difficult. You've got to be very crafty with your questions. But the answer came, you know, did you exist? And the answer was yes, but not necessarily on this timeline. Okay? Not necessarily in the way that you think. So I was kind of like trying to understand what I was being told. And again, I was shown that particular event of Jesus being here happened. That's what he said. But not on our timeline. And because, right, so let me see if I can explain this. Because all of these templates that we're on, all separate. Okay, I don't know if you've listened to or read the work of Dolores Cannon. And Dolores Cannon said that when you're on the other side, you can choose to live a certain life. You can choose to live it. Okay, you can choose a certain experience. There's no such thing as time, so you just drop in to where you want. And so what I'm kind of getting is that beyond that is that each particular period, very important period, I mean, imagine the period of Jesus doing his study, it's only 3 years, but that period is very, very important. And so what I was being told was that did happen, but as a separate. And so this is exactly what I was told. For any of these stories to have veracity here in this template, they have to be real. They can't be invented stories. They have to be real. And they happen, but they happen on different timelines, and they're kind of imported in. So, you know, like we were talking about the idea of a video game, it's like all the building blocks are put in, you know, the Bible's put there, all these clues in, like in the escape room, all the clues are put there. And our job, we come here and we go through, and the idea is to go through this process of learning and understanding and looking at the clues, and then coming to the point of saying, oh, right, so there is a God and I need to return back to God. That's kind of our job, yeah? So it was just really interesting that kind of that was a real story, but not in the history of us. See, I'm going to ask them, and I bet you they won't tell me, but I want to know, like, this particular template, this block, if it were a template. These are just, hey, This could be a pile of shit. Don't hold on to your beliefs, eh? Don't hold on to your beliefs. Don't make it a belief. Is it just interesting? But if it were a template, how many years long would it be? Would it be like a century, 2 centuries? I don't know. I don't know. You know, I know, you know, there are people, I've met people who lived in the 19th century. So I've met them who were born then. So, you know, I don't know how long that template is. But maybe the idea is that we come down and we experience that particular part. Who knows? For example, I'll give you an example. Maybe I am the beginning, 1964, maybe I'm the beginning of the template. When I come in, I meet all of these people who've been put here. They're like the background. I meet them all thinking that this has been going on forever, when in fact it's just started. Maybe the template, oh my, it's too, maybe the template's just mine, and maybe your template's just yours. I don't know. Maybe it just starts when you come in. I don't know. Who knows? Not important. However, that's the idea that this Christ energy is here to help us, to guide us, to return to God. That's it. Which makes a lot of sense when you think about the story of the Bible and, you know, Jesus coming, the return of God, of Jesus, to help us, to take us off to salvation. That's the idea, isn't it? It's exactly the story, isn't it? But in a less biblical way. Yeah. So there you are. We're in an escape room. All right. Now, in an escape room, you need the people who've got those great minds. They're the ones who work out the clues. All right. And I am the, as the expression goes, I am the one who wipes out the ashtrays and makes the tea. There you are, in an escape room. Okay, I love you all, and I'll see you all soon.